This is the solution video for numbers 22 through 27 on the Chapter 8 test review. Starting with number 22, the first issue is that we don't have 0 on that right side. So I can subtract 36 right away, or I'm actually going to FOIL on the left side first, because in order to use the zero product property, I have to have the left side factored but the right side equal to 0. So I'm going to FOIL out that left side because of that 36 on the right. So I get x squared minus 1x plus 1 is equal to 36, and then subtract 36 over, first we're going to combine like terms, so we get x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 36, then we are going to subtract that 36 over. So we get x squared minus 2x minus 35 is equal to 0. Now we have 0 on one side, a trinomial on the left side. Because we only have just the x squared, there's no number in front of the x squared, we can go right to the double bubble. So what multiplies to negative 35 and adds to negative 2? That's going to be negative 7 and positive 5. Now that the left side's factored, take each set of parentheses and set them both equal to 0 and solve both equations. We get positive 7 and negative 5. Number 23 looks like number 22, but we have 0 on the right side. So actually, all the work's done for us. We just set each parenthesis equal to 0. And solve both equations, getting us negative 9 and negative 2/5. So again, just harping on the difference between 22 and 23. 22, we did not have 0 on the right side, so we had to FOIL. With number 23, we already had 0 on the right side, and it was already factored, so we could just go right to our solving step. Number 24, we don't have 0 on the right side, so we're going to subtract that 25x over when we combine it with the positive 5x that's already there, leaving us x squared minus 20x plus 100 is equal to 0. Because our x squared does not have a coefficient other than 1, we can go right to the double bubble. The factors that multiply to 100 and add to negative 20. So it's positive 100 but negative 20. So they're both going to be negative. It's going to be negative 10 and negative 10. When we set both of these equal to 0 and solve, we get the same solution. We only have to write it once. If you want to write it twice, go ahead, but we only need to see it that one time. Number 25, we need to get 0 on the right side, so we'll start by subtracting 16. Leaving us 9r squared minus 16 equals 0. Now usually when there's two terms on one side, we take out the GCF, but we can't. There is no GCF, so that means the only other way of factoring we can do is difference of squares. Since 9r squared is a perfect square and 16 is a perfect square separated by a subtraction sign, we can use the difference of squares formula where we take the square root of 9r squared, which is 3r, that's the first term for both parentheses, and then the square root of 16, which is 4, so that's the second term for both parentheses, and always opposite signs. Now that the left side's factor, set them each equal to 0 and solve them both. We get negative and positive 4/3. Number 26, we need 0 on the right side, so we're going to start by adding 4 to both sides. The left side, we have a w squared. There's no number in front of it, so no box method needed. Go right to the double bubble and ask ourselves what multiplies to positive 14 but adds to negative 9. That's going to be negative 7 and negative 2. Set them both of the parentheses equal to 0 and solve. We get positive 7 and positive 2 as our solutions. Number 27 is just like number 22. We have the left side factored, but the right side's equal to a number that's not 0, so we're going to have to FOIL that left side. And then before we subtract the 9 over, I'm just going to combine my like terms. 5x and 3x combine to positive 2x. Now I'll move the 9 over so I can get 0 on the right side. Our leading coefficient again is 1. We have just the regular x squared, so double bubble it is. What multiplies to negative 24 and adds to positive 2? That's going to be positive 6 and negative 4. Set them both equal to 0. And we get a solution of negative 6 and positive 4. That concludes this video for solutions to numbers 22 through 27 on the Chapter 8 test review.